a series where every day I am bringing you a different aspect of energy comprehension so you can become more aligned within. Today, I wanted to talk about a very serious issue, and I'm going to try to keep it as succinct as possible. But there are a lot of people out there that have the conscious awareness that they are absorbing energy from other people. This is an aspect that if you are exhibiting or experiencing this, that you feel other people's energy and you take it on, this is a very serious issue. So, um, I will ask that you take a moment to defer your ego to your heart space before watching any more of this video, because it will be very difficult to really understand when the ego is involved, because the ego does not allow us to fully understand how our bodies are um, operating. So when we are taking on other people's energies, and this is very common in the health field, whether you're a doctor, a nurse, or a therapist, unfortunately, it's very common. And in fact, it is a field that's getting a lot more attention these days, because a lot of therapists are coming up with what they're calling second degree or secondary trauma, whereas these people, therapists, are focused on trauma therapy, and they sit there and listen to people's traumas all day long, and then they get traumatized. So it's an issue for practitioners, for everyday people. If you're in the healing modality field, this is, if you're absorbing energy, this is a real process to rectify. But it absolutely can be rectified, and it needs to be rectified. So if you don't work with me, you want to work with somebody that's going to help you get out of this situation of absorbing energies. So first of all, I'm going to go over 5 different aspects of what it means when you're absorbing energies. The first one is that you have a weakness in your field, meaning there's a vulnerability. So if there's a vulnerability, that means it could be a rip, a tear, a gaping hole. Something in your energy field is allowing and magnifying what you're taking in. So I can hear somebody complain and I don't absorb it. Now, that wasn't the case when I really became intimately aware of what it is to absorb. Um, there are many reasons why this causes it. That's why you want to work with a practitioner if you can. But there are many things that cause it, both physically and energetically. So physically, heavy metals. Heavy metals are a thing that everybody's contending with. But if you have a lot of heavy metals, it will change how you take in energy. It will change what you experience within an exchange. So you will have a weakness in your field if you are absorbing energy. So that's number one. Number two, it also means that there's a lack of inner congruence, meaning how you are aligned within yourself is incongruent. So it might mean that you have a lot of doubts about yourself and others. It may mean that you're questioning things within yourself. It also will mean that you don't have a strong connection to your spiritual aspects of self, your spiritual identities, if you will. It could also mean that you don't have a strong relationship with God. Maybe you don't believe in God. Maybe you believe in life force or creation. Whatever it is that you believe, you want to have a strong connection to what it is that you feel will help bring you more healing. The third issue that people who absorb energy often contend with is inner conflicts. So they feel conflicted about their relationships, maybe their jobs, maybe their partnership, maybe aspects of their life, maybe parts of their family. I mean, the inner conflicts could go throughout every aspect of their life, even things that are supposed to be fun, like let's say doing a hobby, there might be a conflict around that. So you'll really want to address any inner conflicts. The fourth one is even more unpleasant than the first three, which is that there will be some type of parasitic energy. A parasitic energy will happen both non physical and in the physical. So if you have energetic parasites, it will go in your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And then obviously, you might have some in your colon or your small intestines or large intestines. Obviously, at least in my experience, most people don't test for physical parasites, and most don't even have an awareness of energetic parasites. Not a very fun topic, but it's a very common topic in the field of energy because it's very common for people to have energetic parasites. And those essentially suck life force and will make it more, make your field vulnerable to those tears and rips, and also change how you magnetize. I know a lot of people are into manifestation. Well, this will directly impact how you manifest. The fifth one is not as yucky as the fourth one, but it still has this it leaves a residue. And this is when you are a person who gets dumped on. For example, people just feel comfortable telling you everything and they dump all their minutia onto you. And that happens with therapists, they get vented on, or if you're that friend who has that good compassionate listening ear and you listen to other people just dump on you, that dumping creates a big problem in how you absorb. Now, I don't allow people to dump on me. I don't have clients that dump. I don't have clients that vent. I don't even have friends that do this to me. But I did once have a friend, a, I will say an associate, say to me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I dumped on you," which I thought it was interesting because to me, I didn't experience what they were doing as dumping as much as sharing, but their own experience was that they are a dumper, that they vent and they leave their stuff for other people to clean up. And she apologized for it. And I thought that was nice. And I also thought it was interesting because she wasn't dumping, she was communicating and sharing her feelings. However, let's see, there it goes. Um, sorry about that, when people tend to dump on you, you will absorb it and not even have an awareness that it was dumping. Because when you're absorbing energy, it's just something that feels like it's just happening to you. And are there things that you can do to stop it? Well, yes, there's a plethora. But the first things first is almost like triage. You want to identify what the main issue is for absorbing the issue for you. The first one is always going to be getting your field clear and secure. Um, so that your energy is contained and you can notice when there's an infiltration or not. That would be the first way. But it's different for everybody. But the most important thing is that you have conscious awareness that if you are absorbing energy from others, that you must take some type of action within yourself that puts that to a stop, because that's not healthy. If you are into archetypes, this is what's called the wounded healer. This is the people that have a trauma that attract other traumas. Um, and you definitely want to magnetize to yourself and have a conscious awareness of that you are co-creating your experience. And when you are in co-creation, you're equally responsible. So you are absorbing and you are going into a co-creation relationship with these energies. And if you do not want to do that, you must make changes in your own field and begin to operate with conscious co-creation. And that means shifting your behavior immediately to find healthier ways to communicate and to be with others. And the first thing is obviously taking inventory of yourself about what are your behaviors when these things are happening, and then move forward from there. I am Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace. I hope you have a great day. Bye.